Hi there. My name is Stephanie with Allied Pacific. I've spoken to the majority of you here on this email chain in regards to buying a new home. Many of you have called me to get pre-qualified, have called me regarding payments and otherwise. Now, I know, many of you have actually never met me in person, but hello, nice to meet you. I am going to give you some ideas of what's going on in the housing market and what to kind of expect, here in 2023 if you're looking to try to buy a new home here in San Diego, or I should say Southern California. Number one, home prices are continuing to go down. So, what you can buy today, you would have paid $100,000 or more for a year ago. So home prices are continuing to deteriorate with interest rates. Now, one of the interesting things is that interest rates got as high as about, gosh, probably about 7.5%. Now we're starting to creep down back into the fives. We've got a couple 5.99s. We've got some low sixes available. So home prices are still going down, but interest rates are coming down. So, payments that I quoted you 2 months ago, your payment would probably be lower today. Now, there's another program out there that's really, really interesting that probably about 90% of our clients are writing. That's a really great program to get you into a house, for a very reasonable price, or I should say payment. Anyways, it's something called a 2-1 buy down. So let's say today's interest rate is 6.25. So on a 2-1 buy down, the way that it works is that the seller subsidizes your payment. So when you write your offer, let's say something's listed for 750 and you're going to write an offer for 700. You write your offer for 700,000 with the seller paying for a 2-1 buy down. Now, this is a really common program today that's, just making it so that home buying is more affordable for people. So the way it works is, let's say the going market interest rate is 6.25. So year one on a 2-1 buy down, your interest rate would be 4.25. Okay. So it would be 4.25 for the first 12 months. The second 12 months, it goes to 5.25, and then it goes to 6.25 for the remainder of the loan. So the benefit of a program like this is it gets you into a house with a much, much cheaper payment. And this is funded by the seller. Okay. So you start at 4.25. And we're all really projecting that interest rates are going to come down in 2023. So conceptually, you go in, you buy the house at 4.25 with a, very cheap payment. And let's say by May or June, interest rates come down further. Then you would have the opportunity to refinance with us. And you would hear from me, of course, before you ever even knew that interest rates had come down. But let's say that interest rates come down to 4.75 by mid-year. Well, you would give up your 4.25. We'd refinance you into the 4.75 so that you would never hit the 5.25 or the 6.25 on the adjustments. Now, part of the beauty of this program is that it is seller paid. So if you start at 4.25 and let's say 8 months later you refinance, that money that's been set aside for that interest reimbursement between the 4.25 and 6.25, and then the 5.25 and the 6.25 actually goes to you. So the beauty of it is that the seller funds this. It sits in an account after you close. It decreases your payment throughout that time. And if you refinance for any reason, the funds that are sitting in that account go to you in the form of a principal reduction. So a 2-1 buy down, typically, let's say it costs on an average home here in San Diego between 15 and 20,000. So if you owed 600,000 and you still had 15,000 in that account, your payoff, instead of being 600,000, would actually be 585,000. So you get to keep that money. It's just a really great program to get you into a house, with a much more reasonable house payment. Anyway, so if you want to go over any of these numbers, or if you want to brainstorm how you can get into a house with a reasonable payment in 2023, it might be a good idea. Home prices are continuing to come down, interest rates are coming down, and there's some really good programs out there to make it affordable for you to, be able to buy a new home. Anyways, Happy New Year to all of you. And of course, if I can help in any way, call me.